Well, isn't that a surprise?
What's up, buddy?
So I've already been in there. I'll get a better shot, but we just came to a surprise baby calf. So Jed was up here doing a little weed eating. He calls us, he goes, yo, there's a baby cow in here. Our thought was Flossie.
But I knew it wasn't Flossie.
Right.
Because I was just watching her yesterday and her udder was nowhere. I mean, it's empty.
Right. But Daisy was already in milk. So her udder was, it was like milk cow.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it didn't cross our minds that she was going to be bred back, that easily. But
Well,
she did.
it did cross our minds, but we didn't think Hank could do it because
Right.
they've been here for almost 3 years.
That's right.
And nobody had gotten pregnant by Hank, so we just thought that he wasn't going to be able to do it.
Right. We thought it was a Hank problem, not a Flossie problem. But it's a Flossie problem because that is a mini Hereford Jersey. And it's female. It's a little girl. So that's exciting. And really exciting because y'all know if you've been following us, we've been having some struggles with Miss Daisy as our milk cow. But now
It's been replaced.
Yeah, it's getting time put into this. We might have us our future milk cow right there.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a funny looking cow. Oh, Hank, he did a good job, man. But yeah, so we'll show you more clips. They're just getting used to each other, and I bet she just slid right out of Daisy because she's so small compared to what Henry was, which given females are smaller anyways, but Henry was a Jersey Angus mix, and this is a mini Hereford Jersey mix, so it's a lot smaller. But goodness gracious.
I thought I was seeing things at first. I knew one cow didn't look like the other cow.
When did you shrink?
Right. All right. In the couple days that have passed since that initial shock that you all just saw and our shock, we've been figuring out a lot of things. So we've been working on milking stands. I'll see you, T-Bird. We've been working on figuring out the cow milking situation because we've got to figure out a way to get Daisy milked, which we have some pretty good ideas. But this video is specifically about this little beautiful thing that is going to be the future of Stivers Homestead. Such a pleasant surprise, and we're so excited. Let's get a closer look at this little girl. But first, hey, go get it. Y'all, isn't she about the most adorable thing you've ever seen? Don't be running away from me, Shelby, by golly. Look at her. Don't she look just like Hank, which is her daddy? So she's a mini Hereford mixed with a full-blooded Jersey, and she is a female, and she is so cute. Quit biting me, by golly. You're gonna like us. So yeah, like I said, she's a mini Hereford mixed with a full-blooded Jersey. You're just a feisty little thing. Yes, you are. Why don't we just show them you, and then we'll give you kisses. And then I'll go talk to them later. How about that? Look at them eyelashes. So she's a little muddy because we've had quite a bit of rain around here and the barn's a little wet. But see, now you're interested. Well, come on back. Come on. Come on, sweetie. Oh, I paid attention. I'll just look at you all. Yeah, come on. She's thinking about it. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. No? Okay. So with that beautiful little girl, she is going to be getting a lot of lead training. Jen and I are about to get in a little bit more depth with you all about the future. She mooed. Baby calf moves are very cute. She's going to be doing a lot of lead training because we're going to talk about the future of her here in a little bit. But we definitely want to make sure, that was there. We definitely want to make sure she's one of those that will be lead trained very easily, in the future. But it's going to take a lot of dedication and consistency from us. But she's only like, I think, 2 days old now when you all are seeing this video. Maybe 3 by the time you all see it. But anyways, we're going off, this weekend to do things. And so we don't want to disturb too much. We're just kind of letting them get used to each other. She's nursing really well. Problem is she ain't going to nurse enough off Daisy. So we're going to be working on this whole milking situation. Yeah, over here. Which we'll get into detail on another video. But straight chaos around here. Man, we had no idea. We should have. We were just being silly and not thinking clear enough. And what I mean by that is, y'all remember Henry? Henry was Daisy's bull calf from last year, which I know we're gonna change a lot of things out. Flossie, right beside Daisy there, is the one that we were hoping that would be pregnant. She definitely still looks pregnant, but we have no udder. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's not filling up just yet. Still nothing to be alarmed about, but we kept paying attention to her. She always had an udder because he was nursing off of her. He is weaned now. But we were letting her dry herself up naturally. But then, y'all see this thing? Jen said she noticed it, but we didn't pay too much attention because he had been nursing. Well, lo and behold, she also bred back very, very quickly after him, which isn't ideal. We would like to not have that happen in the future. We'll separate next time better. But we were so concerned about Flossie, we weren't paying attention to Daisy. And that's why Shelby, which is her name, I'm not sure if we talked about that or not, was such a surprise. Jed called us, he goes, yo. I think we talked about that too. My mind's just like, whew, whew. He's like, yo, there's a baby calf up here. I was like, alive? Whose? And then it ended up being Daisy's, and it was just, you know, a shock and a half. But it's really exciting. It's changed our minds about a lot of things. It's making us see like, hey, here's a sign, this is what you need to do. And so we're taking that by the reins, and we really have a big future plan for this. And that's where me and Jan need to get into some details with you all that also may help you with your farming, because sometimes choices are hard, and sometimes choices that you make don't work out. And then here you go, you have a daggone baby calf that you didn't even know you was gonna get from a cow that you didn't even think was pregnant. All right, so we're down here at the store. We've been working really hard. Well, Karen and Jen have been working really hard getting all of our stuff ready for our event that we have this weekend. Well, I've been out getting all the animals and stuff ready. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Shelby herself and what she means for the future of this place. Before we get into that, I did want to let you all know that Daisy and her are doing great together. She's being a great mom, taking care of her well, and I just actually saw Shelby took her first steps outside of the barn.
Yay.
She's hanging out in the pasture now with the cows. It's great, especially for being, what, 3 days old? Mm-hmm. Only 3 days old now, which is just mind-blowing. But let's talk about what Shelby means for this farm and kind of our whole mindset around our cattle in general.
So most of you all know that we've had trouble with Daisy. She at first was a really good milker, and then when she had a calf last year, she turned into like the world's worst milker.
Yeah.
It was a terrible situation. We struggled all year. Finally, we just gave up and we said, we don't even want your milk because it's not worth it. So she had Henry a year ago, almost. It'll be a year in May. He was a boy. Also, we're growing him out to be food. I mean, that's his purpose. And so that was, you know, it's not very exciting. When you have a boy, it is, because you fill your freezer, but it's not as exciting as when, first of all, you're surprised, didn't even know she was pregnant, and then it's a girl. Like, it was the most exciting thing ever, just to think about her future. So logistically, what's going to happen is we get to raise Shelby from birth with her mom. I mean, we're not taking her from her, but she's going to be used to us. She's going to be trained on a halter, on a lead, and one day that little girl is probably going to be the best milker that has ever stepped foot on this farm, or will ever step foot on this farm. So we are going to milk Daisy. We're going to give it our best attempt. We've got some things planned and to put in place to try to make it functioning as best as we can. But we will have to milk her because that little girl just cannot drink all of her milk. Right. There's no way. So we'll have to relieve pressure, and then eventually, you know, once Shelby's old enough, that milk will be ours, and hopefully we can get it to the point where we keep Daisy in milk for around a year, maybe even more, maybe 2 years, because hopefully at the 2-year mark is when we will finally be able to probably AI Shelby. I think our plan moving forward with the boys will be to send them both to the freezer or to sell Hank possibly, but Henry will definitely be in our freezer, and then keep Daisy and Flossie around and their babies and raise Shelby up to the point where she will be our next milker. So that's going to be a long road. However, in that 2 years, raising her to do that, the kids will be helping do that as well, and she will basically be like their milk cow for who knows how many years going forward from this. Right. And that's just really exciting to think about, that asset on a farm and being able to raise one from birth and turn them into the perfect milk cow. It's just really, really cool. So, I mean, we don't technically know how her milk will be or if she'll be like a good producer, but we've done a lot of research and we've talked to a lot of friends who said that she probably will be a fantastic milker. A lot of people breed Jerseys with mini Herefords, so yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, when we were sitting on the porch and we was kind of talking about that, I was like, we gotta like document this and like take pictures with the kids and Shelby as they grow up, because I looked at her and said, what's crazy is our kids could be 18 and they'll be milking Shelby if all goes as planned, right? It's a long time in the future, so we'll see. But that is our initial goal. So like she said, the plans have changed with the cows. They're hanging around. I'm still pretty confident I want to get rid of Daisy whenever that time is allowed. But I would love to, I'm really hopeful that Flossie is still pregnant and that she gives birth, and that we can have her too, because I'd love to give her a try. But most importantly, like she said, with Shelby, she's going to grow up with us. We get to do all the training all the way from a calf, and then hopefully turns into a perfect milk cow. Now, what she was kind of touching on is, one, she is from a full-blooded Jersey, so she's going to have that Jersey dairy line, and then she'll have the mini Hereford size. So what she's going to look like, going to be interesting. She definitely got the color of Hank, and kind of the Herefords have curly hair. So it's kind of like just really curled up. So she'll have that most likely. I already saw her head. She's got that big Jersey knot, that they have. So it's going to be a funny mix, but she is going to be smaller than a full-size Jersey.
Which is going to be great for the kids.
Exactly.
That's kind of fixed into the whole plan, because hopefully she'll be like a mini, some sort of mini, maybe like a Dexter. I don't know.
Yeah.
We really have no idea. But not being like 1,000 pounds would be great for the kids to be able to manage her.
Right, and so with that lead training that we're going to be taking on when we get back from all of our events that we're doing, it's just going to turn into one really great cow. And it really is beautiful to have our first they're actually called heifer calves. Heifer calves is what Shelby is, and it's great to have that first one on this farm. It's something about, I guess maybe because we're more used to goats, when a calf is born, because you only get one most every time with a cow, and it takes 9 months for them to go through the process and the cycle, and then so when that life is born, it's like almost like a human. Like this took forever, and it's beautiful. And then when it comes out and it's a heifer calf, you're like, sweet, like that's great. And when she was talking about that, I was like, that's that dairy line mindset. If you're on a meat line mindset, you want those steers, right? You want to be able to get those bull calves that you can weather out and then make them steers so you can eat them. But with that dairy line, all you want is to see them pretty little girls. And she's so sweet. She's got those big eyelashes that you all saw, which are big within the jerseys, and we're over the moon with her.
Yeah, and obviously, like, we didn't build our herd with the 4 cows that we got.
Right.
It's just the cows that we got, and we love them. But it took us 3 years to get to this moment, so it's crazy. Like, we finally, 3 years later, have a girl hit the ground, and then it's going to take us 2 more years to get her to the point of milking, maybe more. And it's just that process. Like, that stuff doesn't happen overnight. You don't find the perfect cows, or you don't breed the perfect cows. Like, it just takes a long time.
Yeah, and so it's patience. And so when she said, we got 2 years before we'll milk her, it's fine by us.
Yeah.
We waited 3 years for her to even come. We didn't even know she's going to come in 3 years. It could have been 5 years, right? So 2 more years, let's do it. Now we just get to train her into the cow that we want her to be. Man, it's exciting. It's going to be a busy 2 years. So let us know down in the comments what you think of our pretty little Shelby, and of course her name too. Do you like the name Shelby? We like her and we love her. We can't wait to just spend a lot of time with her, training with her, and then stay tuned for the chaos that will be milking Daisy.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a good idea that her, Jen, and Jed and her, and whatever, the 3 of us came together with. It seems like a good idea on how we can get it to completely just make her not move. Legs, hips, swinging, all the stuff. We'll see. But that's got to be done. That'll be coming within the next week and a half or so. All right, y'all, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button.
We love y'all.
Until the next one.
Bye.
I'm tired.